Hello student, once again your teachers, English teacher, coming to you with a new deliberation. I hope each of you are in good health, with good spirit and spending your beautiful time, though it is in confined state, but you can enjoy your personal thing, okay? And by this time also you are getting an opportunity to learn many things, new things, okay? We are also trying our best to give you certain uh, education or certain study materials through online, so that you can enrich yourself while you are spending your time at your home. Okay. Now, today I thought that I must discuss certain things about functional grammar. In fact, as I told you earlier also that grammar has not that much of major role as far as spoken English is concerned, but you need to know it. In fact, the portion which we will learn again, that's a refreshing only our knowledge which we have learned long back, okay, about 6-7 years ago, like in the class 6 7. We need to rebrush it. We need to that has been gathered certain dust and other things that has to that need to rebrush once again, so that you can have a better idea about the grammar and you can get the confidence. This is required because while you are going for spoken or it is written form, if you don't have any idea about that grammar, if you don't have that much of control on grammar portion, the correct English cannot come out from you. So it is better to have certain control over the grammar portion also. I will take up certain very what I say very easy chapter of grammars. Okay, I will not go deep into the grammar portion because neither it is a grammar class nor I am a grammar teacher. Okay, as a spoken English teacher, that much what is required, I just want to make you learn on this part only. Today our discussion will be on parts of speech that comes under the syllabus of functional grammar of spoken English. Okay, in the parts of speech, whenever we are going to deliver certain speech, that means whenever we are speaking, we need to form sentences, and to form sentences we need to conjunct, we need to add words, and these words is uh, divided into 8 classes according to the work which they do in sentence. Okay, once again I am repeating, words are divided into 8 classes according to the works which they do in sentences. Okay, what are those 8? Here you can find it out. The first is noun, the second is pronoun, the third is adjective, the fourth is verb, the 5 is adverb, the 6th is preposition, the 7th is conjunction, the 8th is interjection. Now my only request is to remember these 8 parts of speech in the same form the way I have written here. Okay, that will be better for you, and it will be very easy to remember the function of the each parts of speech also. Okay, now I think you have or I am very confident or I am very sure that you have learnt it in your lower classes, but maybe this is required once again more because to refresh or rebrush the earlier knowledge which you have acquired long back. Okay, so and if you have any grammar book in your home by chance, then it's an opportunity for you to go through it, to learn it once again, to rebrush your knowledge once again, so that you can get much of confidence while you are speaking English fluently. And not only that, when you are going to give the correct English, either in spoken or it is in written form. Okay. Now to describe it or to clarify it, the noun, the first I am taking it, the noun. A noun is a word used as a name of a person, place or thing. This is very easy. Okay. So what is noun? The name of a person, thing, state, or place, whatever it is. Okay. So I have given certain example which will be easy for you to remember. Ram. Ram is a name, so it's noun. Gita, female, but it's a name, so it's noun. Delhi, it's name of a particular place, okay, like Sirampur, like Kolkata. These are all comes under the purview of noun in the parts of speech. I said in a sentence words are required. Each of the word belongs to parts of speech. So where you are finding the name, you can easily classify it as noun. Okay. Now we can go to pronoun. What is pronoun? Pronoun is a word used for a noun. That is simple. Okay. Why I am telling you? To place the noun or to replace the noun if I use any word that is pronoun. Like Ram is a good boy. Ram goes to school every day. Ram eats rice. Every time I am mentioning Ram, 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 and it is monotonous. Okay, it will be it will be not nice to listen. So instead of Ram, if I say he, him, his, then it's very nice to listen. And in English, this is called pronoun. That means the word which we used in place of noun, that is called pronoun. I think now you are finding certain easy method to remember it, okay, or to rebrush it. Pronoun, so pronoun is he. He means somebody whose name was something, but I am not taking the name. Instead of repeating the name again and again, I am putting the word he, she, they, etc. Okay, there are so many like this, them and others also. So these are the bunch of pronouns which I am using instead of noun or in place of noun. I think this much is clear to you. And again I am going to the next. Adjective. What is adjective? Now listen carefully. An adjective is a word used to qualify a noun or pronoun. That is to add something to the meaning of a noun or pronoun. Okay? I can put it in a different way, that the words which classify or which clarify or which qualify the quality of noun and pronoun is called adjective. Like I have given, Ram is a good boy. How Ram is? Good boy. So this is defining, this is mentioning the quality of Ram. So good is adjective. Whose? Nouns. Ram's. Ram is a good boy. So noun or pronoun. He is a good boy. So the quality, quantity of noun, pronoun, when I am defining with some words, that is called adjective. Like good, bad, big, tall. Okay, he is a tall man. How he is? Tall. So this is adjective. Okay, and when it is he, it is pronoun. So once again I am repeating it. An adjective is a word used to qualify a noun or pronoun. That is to add something to the meaning of a noun or pronoun. I think this much is clear to you. Okay, don't get confused. Noun, name, pronoun instead of name, adjective to qualify the noun and pronoun, to describe more noun and pronoun. This much is clear. Okay, now we can go to the next one, verb. The verb is used to say something about some person, place or thing. Or you can put it in a different way. A verb is being defined of any action, any kind of action, whether you are running, going, sleeping, fighting, jumping, whatever you are doing, these are being classified or these are being mentioned as verb. So as far as verb is concerned, any action is there. So we can give some example of run, go, eat. There are so many, etc. Okay. So these are the right example of verb. With the verb, you can mention or you can express any kind of action of noun or pronoun. Okay. So noun, pronoun, adjective, verb. This much is clear to you, student. I think it's not new to you. You have read it possibly long back. I am just trying to make it or do it a rebrushing exercise only. Okay, that will help you to remember it what you have learnt long back. Now the next one is adverb. What is adverb? An adverb is a word used to modify a verb, an adjective or another adverb, that is to add something to the meaning of a verb, an adjective or adverb. What I have learned earlier as far as adjective is concerned, adjective is the word which qualify the noun and pronoun. Here in adverb, adverb classified as a word which qualifies verb, adjective and adverb himself. Okay. In the very beginning I said you that you should remember these 8 parts of speech in this order only. Why I have said it? Now it will be clear to you. Now you should not confuse with adjective and adverb. What about adjective? It only qualifies the noun and pronoun. What about the adverb? It only qualifies the verb, adjective and adverb oneself. Okay, this is the difference. Like I said you, Ram is a good boy. Good, what it is? Adjective. Yes, you are right. It is adjective. Now if I say Ram is very good boy, then this very will be adverb because it is qualifies the adjective in a well manner. Okay. So very good. कितना अच्छा भाई? बहुत अच्छा. So very is adverb. Some. Okay. Like fast. Ram can run fast. Run. What is run? It's an action. So run is verb. कितना जो दौड़ता है? Fast. बहुत जो दौड़ता है. So it qualifying the verb. So it is adverb. I think now it is little bit clear to you, or you are remembering your earlier learnings which you have learned long back. What I told, I just want to get it rebrushed once again. Okay, I am not giving you certain thing which you are not known to you. It is known to you. You have learnt it, you have read it, you have memorized it, but at that time. Now rebrushing is required because to speak English, to write English in a correct form, this is required. Okay. Now, this is adverb. I think it is clear. Once again I am repeating. An adverb is a word used to modify a verb or adjective or adverb itself and add something extra to measure or to qualify, to quantify the adjective, verb and adverb. Is it? Now it is clear to you? He can run fast. Run, verb. Fast, again qualifying it, quantifying it. कितना जोर दौड़ता है? कितना दौड़ता है? बहुत जोर. So fast is adverb. So now it is clear to you. We have already reached up to the adverb. Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb adverb. After listening my deliberation, still if you find certain lack of clarity is there, you are not in a position to understand my deliberation, or certain more clarification is required, certain doubt is there, try to find out your English grammar book, this old English grammar book. In each and every old grammar book you will find these parts of speech, and it will be very easy if you go through once or twice. It will be very easy to rebrush, to remember your earlier knowledge which you acquired even 5-6 years back. Okay. Now the next thing is, next parts of speech is preposition. Okay. I am coming to the preposition. What is preposition? A preposition is a word placed before a noun or a pronoun to indicate some relation between the noun or pronoun and some other words. Preposition, pre means pehle, I mean the first one. Prepaid, prepaid mobile, most of you are using. Okay, pre means pehle. Position means state, that means preposition. This position need to go first. Okay, and the word which relates the thing between noun, pronoun and words is called, this word is called preposition. Okay, I am trying to give you the easier example. Okay, I am now in the room. Where I am? I as a noun. Okay, where I am? I as a pronoun. It's not noun because I am not taking the name. So where I am? In the room. So in, this is a relation between room and me. Where I am? In the room. The cat is under the table. Where? The cat and the table, two objects, but the relation is under the table. You are sitting on the chair. You, a separate object, and chair is separate object, and the relation is on the chair. Where you are sitting? On the chair. So this on is preposition. It's taking its position in the preform so that it can maintain a relation between two noun and pronoun, two objects. Okay. So this is preposition. On, in, under. There are so many. Okay. And I have given it etc. There are so many. You just need to know that what is preposition and what are the easy examples of it. Okay. Now the next is conjunction. Okay. On the 7th parts of speech, it is conjunction. What is conjunction? Junction, you know. What is junction? You have seen Saurapuli Junction, Howrah Junction, Sialda Junction. Junction means joining. When two sentences or two words joining together, and the word which is helping to joining these two sentences is called conjunction. To say it as a definition, a conjunction is a word used to join words or group of words. Ram and Sham, and is conjunction because it is joining. Where the joining is there, the word which we are using there is called conjunction. Okay, I said junction means joining. As you know, is Howrah Junction. From different direction, the train is coming and joining there. Saurapuli Junction, from different direction, from Bardwan, from Tarakeshwar, this is a junction. That means joining there. So it will be easy for you to remember this way, that what is junction? Junction is joining. The word which we are using to join the sentences, the words, to come out with certain meaning or come out certain meaningful sentence or to prepare certain meaningful sentence, then it is conjunction. The example is and, but. I can go, but you cannot go. You cannot go, a sentence. I can go, a sentence. But when I am joining this, it is complete sentence. It's a complete one sentence. And I am joining it with the word of but. So, this but is conjunction. Okay. I can go there if the rain is not. If the rain is not coming. Okay. I can go there, a sentence. If the rain is not coming, is a sentence. I am joining this, when I am joining these two sentences at a time with if, this if denotes, this if indicates as conjunction in this word. Okay. This need to be known because when you are forming sentences, you must know that what parts of speech it belongs to, each of the words. Okay. So, and the next one or last one is interjection. Interjection is a word used to express some certain feelings, certain certain emotions. Okay. Oh, bravo, hooray. Nowadays the common words is wow. These are all sudden expression which is coming out of your withins. Okay. This is interjection. Okay. Now, like this I have given you the example of oh, bravo, oh, we have won the match, bravo, I am saluting you. Okay. Hooray, we won the game. Hooray, we win the game. Like this, these certain feelings which comes within that the language or that the words by which you are expressing your certain feelings is called interjection. Okay. This is very easy to remember. In certain sentences you will find that the certain feelings is coming out of it, and the symbol or the sign which we are using is called the exclamatory sign. Okay. This is like this only. I have put it after O, I have put it after bravo. That's a line, and beneath this line or we should give a small dot. Okay. This is this is the symbol of exclamatory. This is called exclamatory sign. A line, a small line, and below it a dot. That is exclamatory sign. And for interjection we should use this kind of sign while we are using this type of word. Okay. So now we have covered the complete parts of speech: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. Now one thing I must add here, that in the exam also, in our exam also, we will try to give you, or we will try to assess you that how much you are aware about each of the parts of speech in a sentence. So you must learn. Okay, sometimes some variations are there, but I just don't want to go deep into the matter, deep into the grammar portion. This much is enough for you. Okay. For your practice, I am just trying to give you one exercise also. This exercise, I have given you a sentence. Okay. This sentence I am reading once again. A very nice glass jar was kept on the table. Suddenly it fell down and broke. My Didi screamed. Screamed means chitkar kora. Okay, screamed. Damn, how it happened. Okay, once again I am reading. A very nice glass jar was kept on the table. Full stop. Suddenly it fell down and broke. My Didi screamed within inverted comma, damn, then exclamatory sign. How it happened? Interrogative sign. Okay. So this is a sentence. In this sentence, all the parts of speech are there. What is the exercise? You will have to find it out that what word belongs to which parts of speech. Okay, you know A is article, A, the, and these are article. Okay, you can put it as an article. Then what is very, what is nice, what is glass jar, what is kept, what is table, what is suddenly, what is fall down. These all you will have to find it out. Do this exercise on your own. If I say you this the answer of this exercise, it will be easy for you. I will definitely try to say you the answer in any of my next video, where you can find it out, or you can make the necessary correction. If you correct it, if you make it correct on your own, it's an excellent. Okay, it's an excellent job, and you will emerge the victory. I just want to give you certain idea about the parts of speech, and this exercise is for you to be confident that you have learned. Okay. Once again, I am thanking you for being with me, and I am wishing you all your best days, all your nice days with your learning endeavors, and the way we are trying to give you certain session, certain thoughts, certain certain deliberation. I think you will be very serious to acquire it, because we all are spending our time in an idle way as a confined person in our room or in our home. So it's a better opportunity for us to learn certain new things. I'm not saying that it's a new thing, but the way we are learning it, it's a new way of learning. The way I am deliberating, it's a new way of deliberation. I have never deliberated online. I have never made any video for my student. So the only thing which inspire me, the only thing which can motivate me, if you can get certain benefit out of our effort, out of our attempt of making you reach this learning session to each of you. So goodbye. Wish you all good days. Wish you all nice days and good health with better spirit. On behalf of George Telegraph Smart Center, Srirampur, and on our personal behalf to each of you. Thank you.